Hey guys, so today we're going to be covering the high-speed MSP from ewheels. Let's get started. For starters, I just want to clarify the different variations of the MSP. You have the standard MSP, which is a 2,500 watt motor. That is also known as the torque edition. You have the high-speed MSP, which is provided by ewheels. It uses the 2,000 watt MSX motor, and it has a top speed of around 45 miles an hour. And then lastly, you have the MSS, which is provided by EUC Service, and it uses a 2,300 watt motor, I think it is, but it gives you the speed as well as higher torque than this. The high-speed MSP comes with all the standard MSP features, such as the dual headlight, RGB LED strips in front and back, a tail light or brake light, a cutoff switch, trolley handle, dual speakers, and the upgraded 21700 battery cells instead of 18650s. Some additional features that were part of pre-ordering, which may no longer be available, are the larger Nikola pedals, a dual-purpose mudguard stand, and a seat. So I want to go over a few issues that I did encounter with this wheel. When I first received it, the headlights worked for maybe one night, and then next time I tried using them, they would not turn on at all. It turns out the daughter board that controls the headlights was actually fried somehow. So they had to swap that out, swap out the headlights, swap out the fan just to be on the safe side. Got that working again. But I also had another issue, and that issue is pedal dip. As I was riding just straight, not turns, not going up hills, nothing, just straight flat ground and picking up speed, the wheel would start to dip forward. After talking with Jason, we decided to go ahead and replace the control board for the MSP, and luckily that resolved the issue. So here's a quick comparison of the two schematics. You'll see the old control board on the right and the new control board on the left. And here's a comparison of the two boards wired up. For the new board, you'll notice that the cables are kind of ran over the top. That's because connectors got moved around, so I didn't exactly have the cable length. And for the old board, on the very far right side, you'll see a small PCB which controls the headlight and fans. That actually got integrated into the main board for the new revision. However, when I installed the new control board, there is a couple differences that I did notice. The tail light, for one, originally it would function as a left and right indicator depending which way you were turning. So if you went left, it would blink left, 3 little dots. Went right, it would do the same thing, 3 little dots to the right. With the new control board, however, it does not do that. It just starts with a light in the center and fans outwards on both directions. Another thing that I noticed is the LED strips in the front. They were never able to go white before, but with the new control board, I'm able to turn all these LEDs white. So now let's talk about things which I found as flaws, but ultimately come down to each rider's preference. First thing is the tire. I don't like the tire because, for one, it feels bouncy, and when I set the PSI to what feels good for me, it starts to feel like it's bottoming out on bumps or going off curbs. The second reason is because it feels unstable at higher speeds, which I think is due to the shape of the tire and its tread pattern. Because of this, I've decided to try out a different tire. Thanks to NYCEC providing some pictures, I'm going to try out the H666 from Chaoyang. These pads, the stock pads, are garbage. I would highly recommend either buying some pads or some neoprene foam, which you can cut out your own pads. It's actually what I've done here. You can see the extra thickness. I also added a little angle to the side of it to act as power pads. Definitely a huge help. The seat is not something that I enjoy riding. This is because it's pretty difficult to sit down. Got to kind of adjust each time I sit down. And on top of that, it's a fairly low position, so it's uncomfortable while you're seated. As opposed to a larger wheel, like a Gotway Monster, for example, it's really easy to sit down, no adjustments really needed, and the seated position is a lot higher, so it's a lot more comfortable to ride on. Something else that I didn't like about this wheel was the dihedral angle of the pedals. Before, they used to be at a 20-degree angle. I shaved down the pedals, got it down to 17 degrees, and now that helps significantly. Now that the issues and flaws are out of the way, let's cover the rest of the wheel. I am really happy about the inclusion of the cutoff switch, as it was one of the factors to why I didn't buy an MSX in the first place. I'm not trying to have to power down the wheel every time I want to lift it up. As for the dual headlights, I think they work great. I'm a little concerned with blinding people at night, but other than that, it helps. Here's a couple of clips showing the headlight at different times of day. That way you can get an idea of what it looks like throughout the night. So for the battery, I think it's pretty sufficient. You get around 35 miles on a full charge if you ride at the upper end of speeds, and you should get around 60 miles when you're riding at the lower end of speeds. The thing that I do love the most, though, is the obvious, the top speed. Going higher than 40 miles an hour is a freaking blast. But what I like most about the speed is the fact that it gives me a lot of headroom for when I'm riding 35, 37 miles an hour. As for torque, I think the wheel has plenty. I mean, for day-to-day riding, it goes up any hills that I need to encounter. And for steeper hills, I think you just need a set of power pads, as I never had the wheel cut off. It only ever stalled on me. And as for the handling, I think the wheel handles pretty well. It corners great. It's a pretty fun wheel. I just didn't like the instability at the higher speeds. In conclusion, the wheel's a great wheel, so long as you're willing to make it your own by adjusting it to your preferences, or as long as you can live with the creature comforts provided. With that being said, if you're looking for something great right out of the box, I probably wouldn't recommend this wheel. This is due to the issues that I mentioned with the tire, the pads, and the pedal angle. Well, I hope you guys got something good out of this video and it helps you out. Thanks for watching.